Good morning, good people. I hope you are having a wonderful, rainy, cold Monday morning. I'm back again on this broadcast. Today we're talking about the reaction of President Cyril Ramaphosa to the death of Elvis Nyathi, the Zimbabwean who was stoned and burnt to death. A deep salute a few days ago. Now we have already seen the solidarity messages from parties like the Democratic Alliance and the economic freedom fighters. We've also seen them, the EFF, they even visited the family in Diepsloot and they slammed the behavior of these vigilante groups that are going around stoking hate against migrants. So the president has also weighed in. President Ramaphosa has commented on the vigilantism, he has commented on the behavior of the police officers, and he has commented on the death of Elvis. So in Bloemfontein, he accused the South African police of behaving in an apartheid manner, or in a manner that was last seen during the apartheid days. And I'll quote him, according to one of the newspapers, where he was saying, obviously, we cannot accept behavior like that, where people are hunted down in that way and are asked questions in that way about their own identity, because it takes us back to the apartheid way of doing things. We are now in a democracy and we should be very restrained and respectful of the rights of people in our country. And then he went on to talk about the death of Elvis, where he said, we regret the loss of life of a Zimbabwean. And I'm also pleased that the police, together with the minister, have been on the ground and have been stabilizing the situation, and their investigations now underway. Of course, we deplore any action that is taken against anyone to a point where they are killed. We continue to say that we should not take the law into our hands, and we should not be targeting anyone in the way that people from other countries have been targeted, because whatever we say, it no sooner becomes something that becomes xenophobic. As South Africans, we should always be respectful to people from other nations, and whatever challenges we have should use the law enforcement channel. So you will remember that we want, just last week, that this arbitrary stopping and searching of people, looking specifically at where they come from, other than being an inconvenience, it also takes us back to the apartheid ways, to the apartheid days. We are not saying people should not be legal or should be illegal in South Africa, but we are saying that even those that are illegal, there is a way that the law stipulates that they should be dealt with. We have also reiterated that foreigners that are in South Africa must abide by and follow South African laws. But that doesn't then mean that unauthorized people should go around demanding identification from people, demanding that people should leave South Africa, as if those people become subhuman or less human when they get into South Africa. Then the president also has a weekly column, which is called From the Desk of the President, and writing on Monday, or in the Monday edition of his column, which is today, he also spoke up against this ongoing vigilantism in South Africa. And he also likened it again to the apartheid era days. He says that I'll quickly read through his write-up because it's very interesting. Dear fellow South Africans, 25 years ago, our democratic constitution came into effect. In adopting this constitution, we affirmed our commitment to a society based on democratic values, social justice, and human rights. We are also making a complete break with our past. This was a past of race-based social engineering that manifested itself through influx control, job reservation, group areas, and the dreaded Dompas. When our forebearers drafted the Freedom Charter in 1995, whose principles have been incorporated in our constitution and declared that South Africa belongs to all who live in it. They were seeking a society free from ethnic chauvinism, tribalism, racism, and sexism. It is therefore deeply disturbing how the recent incidents of anti-foreigner sentiment in parts of the country echo our apartheid past. We have seen people being stopped on the street by private citizens and being forced to produce identification to verify their immigration status. We have seen some political leaders making unscientific statements about immigrants to exploit people's grievances for political gain. We have seen marches being led on people's homes and their dwellings raided for evidence of criminal activity. We have seen people being attacked, hurt, and even killed because of how they looked or because they have a particular accent. This was how the apartheid oppressor operated. They said some people could only live in certain areas, operate certain businesses, or take certain jobs. Under apartheid, black people were deemed suspects by default and stopped by police when found in so-called white areas. Black people were forced to produce a dompas, and if they could not do so, they were jailed. We cannot allow such injustices, to happen again. The events in the Gauteng township of Diepsloot last week were a tragedy. In the course of a single weekend, 7 people were killed, sparking protest. This loss of life is deplorable, as is the killing of a fellow African from Zimbabwe, allegedly at the hands of vigilantes. Crime is a serious problem in this country. It affects all communities, and people are justifiably tired of living in fear of criminals. Contrary to what is claimed by some anti-immigration groupings and individuals, the perpetrators of crime are both black and white, male and female, foreigner and citizen. Crime, not migrants, is the common enemy we must work together to defeat. We cannot defeat crime through incitement, violence, intimidation, and vigilantism aimed at foreign nationals, and specifically nationals from other African countries. We acknowledge many communities are frustrated by the apparent inability of the police to deal with criminals. Among the measures we are taking to capacitate the police in the recruitment of an additional 12,000 additional police officers. We are also re-establishing community policing forums across the country. So the takeaway here is that the president is slamming the reservation of jobs that is being muted by other opposition, by other politicians. He's also slamming the arbitrary searches and targeting of people based on their nationalities by the police. And he is also bemoaning the vigilantism that is taking place. But at the same time, we are worried that despite these words from the president, we are seeing a continuation of people going around, especially Johannesburg, especially Gauteng, still doing this same vigilantism without being stopped by the police. And at some point, they're even being assisted by the police. And there are ministers that are speaking in forked tongues. At one stage, they are fitting into this hate. At the other, they are lambasting the behavior. So I think there is more that the president needs to do in as far as taming this kind of behavior is concerned. So thank you very much for listening to this broadcast. We'll be back again with another. If you have any comments, please send them via the comment section underneath this video. Please subscribe, like this video, and share it. Thank you.